Hey traders, welcome to more coaching videos for gold. I know a lot of you love gold and I can understand why. It makes a lot of money. Here we're talking about a 15-minute chart. Here we're talking about one setting, one set of charts which will change your life, because what we've done now, my software guys have put together a piece of software, PineScript, into TradingView, where you only need one tool. Don't need 9 different settings. You have one tool, one subscription, so you can actually have a free TradingView platform and have one chart. So how that works is it's a simple code that's been written by my guys, and what will happen is once you place the code into the PineScript, then this will appear on your chart. So let me explain how this works. Now I know many of you trade different time frames. Many of you trade different assets. However, what we're trying to do now is make it a lot easier for you guys who are working. Maybe you're working a job and you want to spend a little more time on the charts or less time on the charts. So this is one way which you can do it very, very easily. So let me explain the rules with this, which you've probably seen many times before, but let me, however, explain this system here. And it's a 15-minute chart. This is the most optimal chart, an average time span, if you like. We look at the 5-minute technique, we look at the 30-minute, we look at the 1-hour technique, and they're all going to be written in PineScript, so you can actually purchase them individually as well now. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds. For $100, which is what this is, we'll actually send you the PineScript, send you the code, and away you go. Nothing else is required. So let me explain a couple of things. So the first thing that we have here is the divergence tool, which is brilliant, which tells us it goes green when we have a potential buy. Remember that positive divergence and negative divergence are non-lagging. They are ahead of the game, if you like. So this divergence here that you can see there is telling you in advance that the price is going to go down. This positive divergence, if you can see that there, is telling you the price is going to go up, and so on and so forth. This is highly, highly accurate. So it's a leading indicator rather than a lagging indicator. Most indicators are lagging. We use leading where we can. So that's the first thing. That's automatically set up on your chart. As soon as you put the code in, boom, it is going to be on your chart just like this. The other thing we use is this moving average here, which is interesting. I'm not particularly bothered about the color, but when the color goes green, you remember our methods across the board on all charts is green for buy, red for sell. Very straightforward. Even my 8-year-old grandson understands that. So once this goes green, it's a buy. Once it goes red, it's a sell. The other thing we have here is very strong demand areas and very strong supply areas. So what this means in effect is the price has failed to fall below this area previously, which creates a demand area where the price is highly likely to bounce, if you like, and therefore that's another buying opportunity. And when it comes to supply, these are special settings as well. You don't need to understand the settings. You won't need to put any settings into your chart. They're already calculated for you in the code. So once we have a price established and it's failed to go any higher, this then creates a supply area where the sellers are getting ready to come in. Okay, so the buyers are coming in here, the buyers are coming in here, the sellers are coming in here. And this, again, is automatically drawn on your chart. The fact that you're away from the 5-minute and the 3-minute will actually give you better information. The 15-minute works really, really well. It will tell you on the 30-minute as well, but 15-minute is perfect. Now, the advantage of this chart in particular, 15 minutes is relatively slow for gold. You can pop in any time. You can look at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, New York, or you can look at 8 a.m. London Open. It's totally up to you. Obviously, if I tell you, if you're a VIP member, then of course I will tell you when it's ready. If I'm at my chart, I'm not always at my chart, so I can't tell you if it is or isn't. Mornings, times for me, I'm out playing golf or whatever I'm doing, so afternoon session is much more important for me in terms of trading. The next tool that we use here is really accurate, and been backtesting this for a long time, and as you can see, it lines perfectly with the buying situation or selling situation with the above scenario. So let me expand this a little bit. So in this instance here, we can first of all spot that we have clear negative divergence. Okay, so this is telling you that the price is going to go down. How far it goes down, we just don't know. That's fair enough. But we also here have a golden cross on this special settings, okay, which indicates the price is going to go down, and of course it does. Sometimes it takes a little longer for the price to go red, but if you miss it here, you can get it here. Now, I'm not being funny, that fall from there to there is a nice 74 pips. So if you're looking to bank 50 to 100 pips, this system is absolutely ideal. The way that I would do it, if you prefer, is to simply buy the position, have your stop below the green line, let's say here, so everything lines up perfectly, buy here, stop below the green line, because if it does fall back down, it's highly likely to fall further, and then grab your 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. Don't be greedy, because if you go 4 to 1, let's say, you're going to wait a long time for your target to be hit. If you go for 3 to 1, that's fine, but make sure that once you've done that and you've set your target, you can just forget it. You can just walk away. You put your position in, you've laid out your stall. You're not going to throw away your stall once you've laid it out, so just leave it. And if you want to monitor it every couple of hours, then you can. Just make sure that the price is remaining above the green line. And if it starts to move down, if you've not reached your target, then just close it there for a nice 150 pips or whatever it might be. So in this instance here, we can see that we have divergence tool saying this is green. The price is on demand. You don't want to be selling on demand. Sounds a bit obvious, but nonetheless, you can see that it's created demand and then it's come back into demand. That's a very common feature. And then the price has an outside bar. I often talk about this. This is where the price has come outside the channel, which indicates that there's likely, don't even hesitate there. Don't even hesitate there. Just buy it. So on demand, so this is what we call convergence, divergence, which gives us confirmation, and we have breaker structure. So this is very simple. Balls are in. Don't worry about being late to the party, because the price is strong, and if you miss it at the very early beginning, get in. You'd have to have a wider stop, of course, but then you would go sensible. You'd be going, if you get in here and your stop is below there, 70 pips. If you have a 70 pip stop, then you can't expect much of it. So 150 pips is reasonable. 2 to 1. Don't go 3 to 1, because that's going to take you way over the expectations. Even if you have a 100 pip stop, you come in late here, let's say there, you would then go 1.5, if that makes any sense. If you go for 2 to 1 up there, you might be asking the market too much. You'd be asking for 200 pips out of the market, which is easily possible, but you want to get into the position, and then you want it closed within a couple of hours, let's say. Because once you've actually hit your target, you're then looking at other opportunities, aren't you? You've made your money. Going to come back into the market here, and you're going to see, oh, there's a supply zone that's been created. The price has failed to go any higher, and therefore it's created this red zone. I normally have them in yellow, but I've changed it to red and green in this instance, and that will apply on your chart instantly as well, by the way. So once you get into that position, once the price breaks down, it often often comes back into the red zone. So that's your sell zone. So don't, if you get in, let's say, you're tempted to get in here because you think it's going to fall and it's going to continue to fall, you'd have to have your stop, say, there, 80, 90 pips. Okay? So if you go 2 to 1, 90 pips, you might want to go 1.5, which is there. Okay, looks like you're going to get hit on that anyway. But a far better entry, often, is to wait for the price to come back into the sell zone and then sell it there. If you did do that, then of course you're going to have a much tighter stop, say above the supply zone, 37 pips, and you know that you can go 2 to 1 easily. 97 pips is nothing in gold. Okay, 3 to 1, yeah, 3 to 1's perfectly acceptable there. So you're looking at banking 114, 115 pips with a 37 pip stop. So don't be disappointed if you do get in at this point here and you have a 90 pip stop, but have a 1.5. Okay, if you get in here at early with a 30 pip stop, you can actually go for 3 times, can't you, quite easily. It's the same situation here. Don't be worried about getting late to the party if that is what happens. If you miss the early entry, get in with a 1.5 or a 2 times risk to reward. Fantastic system that works every time. And of course, once you get into this and you start making, let's say, 170 pips, you're not risking 170 pips on the next trade. You've already banked that money. So in this instance, you might risk 30 pips or 50 pips, whatever it might be, but you're only risking profits you've already made. So it's very relaxed actually, and a great system. So it's $100 if you're not on the Get Funded group, if you're not a full member with the Advanced Pro charts and paid all that money, then you can now have this chart for just $100. There is a link above where you just click it, and it's about 80 quid. So I'll get the code to you as soon as I can.